Hi, this is Micah with my Sonar Home STudio 7 tutorial. I'm going to call this one Making Music Quick. Alright, so my icons in my start menu usually looks like that. Click on that. Alright, this window will come up. It says open a project, open a recent project, create a new project. We're going to choose creating a new project. Alright, now we enter the name of our project. Poop 1 is going to be my name, and we come down here and there's all sorts of different ones you got to experiment, but the first one you want to start with is blank, no tracks. Alright, so now this screen comes up. Alright, at the top left of our screen there's going to be a plus sign. That's the one we're going to click on. This here is our master control. Alright, so first we'll click on this plus sign and that'll get our instruments up. Alright, we're going to go down to instrumental track. Hold your arrow on there, then come over here to drop zone. Click on that. Alright, now this screen will come up looking like a keyboard. Alright, at the top of it, it says empty program. See where it says empty program? You click on that in the black part and you get these four options here: basses, drums, grooves, and multi-samples. We'll start out with basses. There's a plus sign next to each one, which means that's just the categories. Click on that plus sign and there's all these different options for instruments. We'll start with acid, quinta, or whatever. Alright, now that you click on that one and highlight it, then you can come down here and play it. You play it just by clicking on the keys. You can hold it down and move it apart, move it across. You just play individual ones. But that just gives you an idea of what the instrument sounds like. And there's all these different instruments. We'll choose another one here. Fever. Whatever that is. Alright, click on that. Come over here. That's what that one sounds like. Alright, now some of these instruments don't cover all these keys. So you need to be aware that sometimes it'll just be a few keys and they're usually highlighted blue that will make noise and the other ones won't. Alright, so this is just to tell you what it sounds like. It's like a sample. So we're going to go with acid quinta, right? Click on that. Okay, now that's our sound. So we're going to exit out of these screens here. Exit out of that one. Exit out of that one. Okay, so now we're back here to the blank screen, but we have this deal here. That represents our instrument now. Alright, so now we're going to come up here and click on the piano looking deal that looks like that right there. See it? Here, I'll move my arrow up there to it. Alright, that's one we want to click on right there. Alright, now we come down to the bottom of the screen and it opens up like a piano looking view, but the piano's off to the left instead of regular looking like it was before. We can pull this down a little. Alright, now these are all the keys now. You click them to hear the noise they make. Now over here is like the writing pad though, where you write in your notes. You select what type of note you want to put in there. There's 30-second note, 16th notes, regular notes, or 8th note, and then a regular quarter note. Alright, all those have different timing, like they go longer. Like one will be like beep, one will be like beep, you know. It's a longer note. For anybody without music background history, you just kind of got to work with it. Like that one's a real long one, that one's a real short one. Alright, so we'll do some quarter notes here. Click on that. Then we'll come down here and choose which one we want to hear. We like that. Alright, so we'll enter one there. Alright, then we want to hear that go with it. So we'll come over to the end of that note, enter another one here. Alright, then we'll go to the bottom of the screen and we click over on this arrow, and it's a real long notepad. You can have it go for like 30 minutes if you want. It just matters how many notes you keep entering in. Alright, so we'll enter another one. Okay, now we'll see what that sounds like. So we'll go up here to the master controls at the top of the screen here and we'll click play. See, this little box here represents the things that we just entered here. This is a small portion, this is a small sample, or like that's what we entered in here comes up here. Alright, so when we click play, this line here will come across that and play it like playing like a reader piano or whatever, you know what I mean? Alright, watch. Click and play. See that line go across there, and it played those notes. Alright, so we'll click play again. Alright, now this line can be moved to different areas. It can, you can move it all over the place, and that'll get kind of tricky to get it where you want it to play it, stop it, play it, rewind, all that, you know what I'm saying? Alright, so then that's one instrument and a few notes we got from that. Alright, let's say we want to put another instrument in. So we'll go back up here and do the same process. Back up to the plus button. Instrument track. Drop zone. Okay, now we'll choose a different instrument. Empty program. Grooves. Alright, we'll pick hip hop progressives. And just a random one, you know what I mean? Listen. Alright, so we like that sound. Alright, so we'll exit out of these windows here. Alright, now we got to click on this deal up here again, right? And don't get confused, the last one might still be down at the bottom of the screen. You got to open a new one for every instrument. Alright, so that one will be our new instrument over here. You can tell by playing it a little bit. See? Alright, so now we like this sound. So we'll enter that note. Like that sound. So we'll enter this note. Alright, then we'll move it. We'll move it down the road like a whole lot of ways through the song. Alright, we'll come back, enter a few notes. Alright, so now we'll go up to the master controls here and play it through. So now we got, this was our first instrument, the notes from that, and this is our second instrument, the notes from that. So we'll play it, and now we can hear them both together for the first time. Here we go. See that? Now this is all the space in between where we didn't enter any notes. I skipped kind of forward for those notes on the last instrument. Alright, so you got to wait for a while for it to play.